Welcome, this is Big Bossman Bobby's College Basketball Show, presented by 4thKiTV Sports. This will be my Elite 8 picks, then eventually down to the Final Four to go to New Orleans. As always, I'm joined by Cletus.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Alright, we're going to start off in the East region. We got number 1 seed Syracuse versus Wisconsin. We got Jim Boeheim, coach for Syracuse, against Bo Ryan for Wisconsin. Of course, Syracuse just lost Fab Melo for the season because of academics. So Syracuse is going to have to find some more scoring and some more blocks because Fab Melo's gone. Of course, Wisconsin is led by Jordan Taylor, who probably will be an All-American this year. I'm going with Syracuse.
That was easy enough, right? Or so you think. Well, I will say this. The guy that's replacing Fab Melo, Raheem Christmas, he's doing a pretty good job with blocks, playing defense. He's given a little bit of scoring power also. You have, the thing about Syracuse, they have a, they have a lot of senior leadership and also a lot of young kids too. So I'm going with Syracuse also. Now with Wisconsin, I will say this: they want you to play, to their game. They want to control
at their
the
pace.
Game. Yeah, the pace of the
That's
game.
what Bo Ryan's known for.
Yes, and also they play stingy D. So they will be in this game, I say, till maybe mid-second half, and then I think Syracuse is just going to run away with it. So
also, Jim Boeheim has the 2-3 zone defense.
Yes, he does, and that always gives teams
which is
trouble.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I'm going with Syracuse as well. Now I'll start the second game, Cincinnati, Ohio State. Ohio State, they have a plethora of players. I think they have a couple NBA players on that team.
No question about it.
Jared Sullinger, he's pretty solid player. He's been playing better since the tournament started. He had a little bit of problems.
He did definitely in February.
Yeah, February. I didn't know
but
what was going to happen with him.
They still have William Buford, and Aaron Craft's really picked up his game too.
So did Deshaun Thomas. I like him.
Absolutely.
Like you said, Aaron Craft. Aaron Craft had 17 points, 10 assists, 3 steals in the last game, and that was against Gonzaga. So he is playing better.
Huge game. They were down by 6 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Came back, tied the game in the first half. Then they pretty much took over. Went up by 10.
Right. You're right. Now Cincinnati. Let's not forget Cincinnati though. Yancey Gates and that Sullinger matchup is going to be a tough matchup. I think they both will probably cancel each other out.
It's unbelievable that Yancey Gates is even playing after that fight back in December.
Yeah, but that fight seemed to invigorate the team and have them playing better. But still, I have Ohio State winning that game. I think Cincinnati just doesn't have all the guns to beat an Ohio State team at this point in time.
Nick Cronin has done a tremendous job this year for Cincinnati.
I agree.
And, he's going against Thad Matta. It's pretty much the Battle of Ohio.
Oh, yeah, it is a battle of Ohio.
I'm going with Ohio State, too. Just too much down low.
We agree on that.
William Buford, Jared Sullinger, and Aaron Craft.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's just too much for Cincinnati. Kilpatrick and Gates just won't get it done.
Nah, I don't believe so either.
Moving on.
You want to start with your
yeah.
Midwest pick?
Yeah, moving on to the Midwest region. Have North Carolina against Ohio. And as of today, Kendall Marshall, it does not look like he's going to play.
Right.
Now, that might not be a problem against Ohio, but further down the road, it could be a problem when they play Kansas eventually.
Oh, it will be a problem.
So, North Carolina should handle Ohio pretty easily. They'll pull away in the second half because they're just too big down low with Zeller and Henson.
Right.
But Ohio's got some good players. They got Clark Kellogg's kid.
Yeah.
And they also have DJ Cooper and Walter Offit, who's a transfer from Ohio State that gave Michigan fits last weekend. Yes.
Oh, yes. Plenty of fits. They lost. Yeah, Clark Kellogg's kid is a shooter just like he was, too. So, yeah, I got UNC. Although Ohio is tough. DJ Cooper, he had 19 points against South Florida. He's playing pretty good.
That was a nice comeback by Ohio. They were down by 6 at halftime.
No question, no question. They played well.
They came out and showed why Ohio basketball is pretty good in the tournament.
Right.
They beat Georgetown a couple years ago also.
Yes, they did. They did. But I think UNC has too many weapons. Harrison Barnes, John Henson. I mean, they have an excellent bench as well, and they're well coached. Let's not forget about that. In order for Ohio even attempt to try to win this game, their big men will have to play a lot better than what they've been playing.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do a pretty good job on the boards because
Yeah.
North Carolina is going to dominate the boards.
Oh my goodness.
No question at all.
And we see how important Henson is to that team too. Once
yeah.
he came back, I mean, he was just blocking shots, scoring, rebounding. You know, he controlled the pace of the games.
But Kendall
Of that
Marshall,
game,
he's a
particularly.
facilitator for the whole team. I mean, his assist to turnover ratio is unbelievable this year.
They're going to miss him, yeah. But I don't think they're going to miss him with this Ohio team.
I agree.
I'm just being honest with you.
I agree.
All right. So you can start off with the next Midwest Sweet 16 game.
All right, we got Cinderella, North Carolina State against Kansas. I just don't see how North Carolina State can stay in the game, even though Mark Godfrey has done a great job this year with North Carolina State. C.J. Williams has been real good for North Carolina State in the tournament, but Kansas, they just have too much Tyshawn Taylor, Thomas Robinson. And, you know, even if Tyshawn Taylor goes to the bench, they got another All-American coming out there.
Yeah.
So I say blowout for Kansas.
I'm not going to say blowout. It's something about Kansas. I don't know about Bill Self. You know, big games is for some reason Kansas loses. You remember last year?
Well, they definitely haven't got it done the last few years.
No, they have not.
They bowed out in the second round the last 2 years.
Yes. I mean, they're lucky to be going up against NC State. I mean, like you said, C.G. Williams is playing well. Also, you forgot about C.G. Leslie, the unsung hero. He's been playing very well. He's underrated also.
And they also have a sharp three-point shooter for North Carolina State, too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But like you said, I don't think it's enough. I think this will be a closer game than people think it is going to be. I do have Kansas winning. Thomas Robinson.
He's player of the year candidate.
Maybe
for
player
sure.
of the year. You think?
Oh, yeah, for sure. All the things he's done for them.
He has the goods. I also like Elijah Johnson as well. Tough player, tough guard.
Yes,
but
he
I
can
got
definitely
Kansas.
shoot the three.
Yes, he can. All right, let's go south, and I'm going to start this one. I'm going to go with let's see, the Baylor Xavier matchup. We all know about Baylor. Baylor a lot of times plays up to their competition. So if they play a not so good team, it's going to be a close game. They're very athletic.
Well, yeah, Perry Jones III, sometimes he scores like 30 points a game.
Yes.
And then he could be back with mouth carving, missing in action.
Yeah.
Because this guy has 0 points.
You are correct.
It's
about
happened
his
this
game.
year a couple times.
I think it's a mental thing with him. But let's not forget, though, Brady Heslip is out of control.
He's been
threes.
phenomenal in the tournament.
Yeah. I knew he was going to be the X factor. I could tell, during the season. I mean, the way he was just stroking those threes during the season. I was like, this young man, they better watch out for him. He's coming out. This is coming out party. He's playing very well. I also like Quincy AC on the boards. He's been boarding. Perry Jones III, like you were saying, sometimes he's a no-show.
Well, he's got all kinds of potential.
All kinds of potential. Now, he's had a not so good tournament, but he has been rebounding. Okay. And I also like Pierre Jackson as well. He's played a good game.
Good, solid player.
But, let's talk about Xavier, though.
The question with Baylor is their coach. Is he proven? Scott Drew.
The team? No, he's not.
His dad's a Hall of Fame coach, but, Scott Drew's only in the first few years.
He's trying to earn his stripes, and luckily he has an athletic team, but I just don't think the team has discipline. Xavier, the fight with Cincinnati, I think, after that fight, they didn't play as well. They managed to, pick up momentum during their tournament.
Well, there's no question about that. They went through a lot of problems January and February. The fight was in December. Mm-hmm. They were the 8th team ranked in the nation at that time.
Exactly.
But in the tournament, they really picked it up. They were down by 13 to Notre Dame in the first half, came back and beat them. And then Belmont.
Talk about Notre Dame
and Cinderella Belmont, who beat Duke.
Right.
They were up by 15. Belmont 31-16, and Xavier took care of business and beat them by 12.
Lehigh beat Duke.
That's right.
Yes,
but Duke's not Duke this year.
They've
been getting away with murder for a while.
Yeah, I don't think.
And it finally caught up to him in the first round.
Cherchesky is getting senile. I do believe. But
about that.
I have Baylor winning that game against Xavier, though. I really do have them winning. Xavier, Holloway is playing really well. He's had a good March Madness run as of late.
He's the only reason why they won that game against Lehigh.
Yeah, but the thing about Xavier is, they just go on guard play. Their big men are not really there, missing
Well,
action a little.
David Freese had his best game ever
He had
on
a good
Sunday,
game, yeah,
25 points and 12 rebounds.
You got to remember who they went up against, though, too.
That's true, but Xavier did lose one of their very good freshman guards.
You're right.
In that game.
Who are you picking, though?
But Xavier, I'm taking Xavier.
Oh, wow.
Because this team has done it before. This is the fifth year in 6 years that they've been to the Sweet 16. And they're finally going to get it done and get to the Elite Eight.
How much money you got in your pocket? Because I will bet you. I got Baylor. Let's move on. You can go with the other South team.
All right, this is probably the matchup in the Sweet 16 that everybody's going to talk about. It's Kentucky and Indiana. This was the best game all year. New Year's Eve, Christian Watford hits a 3, down by 2, at the buzzer to win the game. Pandemonium at Assembly Hall. Kentucky goes home crying. Calipari takes the L. Happy New Year.
Hey, only 2 losses for the season, though. But go ahead.
Well, of course. I mean, he's got all these one-and-done guys. Of course, Anthony Davis is, the best player in college basketball. He can do it all. He was a point guard in high school. Then he grows like 6 or 7 inches his junior year.
Wow.
All of a sudden, he's a power forward. He's blocking shots, getting rebounds. It's unbelievable. They also have Terrence Jones, who's probably going to go pro too. And they have Kid Gilchrist, who's also a freshman. Kentucky's loaded. I don't see any way Kentucky's going to lose this game. Tom Crean's done an unbelievable job this year, but it's just not going to happen. Too much inside play, too much shooting from the outside. Kentucky plays unbelievable defense too.
Right. You're precisely right about that. I mean, Indiana barely got past, what was the team they played? VCU, of course, yeah. They barely got past VCU.
Unbelievable comeback. They were down by 9 points with 4 minutes left, and somehow they came through. Tom Crean's done it before. I mean, he took Marquette to the final game and beat Kentucky, so he's not scared of Kentucky.
Right.
He also had Dwayne Wade, though.
Right.
And we all know what he's doing in the pros.
Exactly. I think with Indiana, I mean, they had too many turnovers against VCU. 22 turnovers. You're not going to beat Kentucky with all that going on. Cody Zeller, I do love him. 6'11" forward. I mean, he plays very well. He's an inside dominance, in my opinion. Christian Watford, sometimes he's inconsistent. But when he does hit that 3, it opens a lot of things up for the inside game and the guard play.
The loss of Vernell Jones is really going to hurt Indiana this game.
It will. He's a defensive presence, and that's what they need against Kentucky.
Absolutely.
I got Kentucky winning that also. The jury is not out on that. Kentucky will win the game.
Moving on to the Midwest region, we have Michigan State versus Louisville. Now, these two teams met a couple years ago when Louisville was the #1 team in the country. Michigan State was slumping into the tournament. They go in, they took care of business against Louisville. So Tom Izzo can beat Rick Pitino, no problem at all. And with the team Michigan State has this year, I mean, Draymond Green, Big Ten Player of the Year, no question about it. And Derek Nix and Adrian Payne, probably the most improved front court in the country. What Tom Izzo's done with those guys is unbelievable. They also got a guy, Austin Thornton, that can shoot the 3 from anywhere. And if he gets hot, watch out. Watch out for Brandon Wood, too. Because all of a sudden he's starting to play real well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And all Louisville has is Peyton Silva. I mean, he's a very quick guard, but it's just not going to happen for Louisville.
He's a leader, though. You got to give him his props. But they do need more. Draymond Green, he reminds me of Kevin Love. A shorter Kevin Love. Not very athletic, but he just makes plays. He gets the rebound when they need a rebound. He scores when they need to score.
He gets a 3 when they need a 3.
Yeah, I mean, he does everything.
Against St.
Actually,
Louis.
he might be my player of the year this year. I mean, he can do everything out there. And like I said, he's not that athletic and undersized, really. But for some reason, he gets the job done. We know about
He definitely has a lot of heart.
Yes, he does. We know about Izzo's history in the tournament.
It's unbelievable what he's done with this team compared to last year's turmoil.
Right.
Amazing.
Don't forget about Keith Appling, Adrian Payne.
Well, he's got a lot to prove, Keith Appling. He was Mr. Basketball, and he just
he hit a crucial 3 in that last game. against St. Louis. I mean, that was
Yeah,
very
he's starting
good.
to shoot the ball, but let's see what happens.
Guess who made the pass?
Draymond Green.
There you go.
Of course.
There you go. Louisville, I just don't think they have enough. Although I do like their center, Dang. He has to, for them to win, he will have to play a miraculous game. He's going to have to rebound. He needs to score, too, and he needs to block some shots. But I still don't think they have enough. I got Michigan State.
Absolutely. And then the next game in the Midwest, we have Marquette versus Florida. Jay Crowder. My gosh. This guy is putting up some numbers.
Oh,
in the tournament, he's got 21.5 points per game and 14.5 rebounds. He is carrying Marquette. And Marquette lost 2 starters at the beginning of the season.
Yes, they did.
And it didn't look like it was going to be a good year for the Warriors. But Buzz Williams has done a tremendous job this year.
Yes, he has. Yes,
And
he has.
on the other hand, you got Billy Donovan. Now
He's been there, too.
he's been there, but Florida does not have the talent they had before. They have Brandon Beal, sensational freshman. They got another guy, Kenny Boynton, that's had a very good year. This could go either way, but I'm gonna go with Marquette.
You know what? This is going to be a run and gun game, I believe. Jay Crowder is a beast. I mean, what else can you say about Jay Crowder? He does everything out there. He's sort of like their Draymond Green, really, to be honest with you. But I also like Darius Johnson Odom. Man, that guy can play. he's an all-out baller. And the thing I noticed about them is, you know, once they get that rebound, they're out. They love to run.
Yeah, they like to make that outlet pass.
Oh man, and just
they
just
put up
going.
a lot of points, and
Yeah.
they blasted BYU. They took
they
advantage
did.
of BYU playing another game,
They took control of that game.
and there was no question about it.
But you know what? I do like Kenny Boynton from Florida. You also mentioned Bradley Beal. He's a great rebounding guard as well.
Yes.
So they got a few guards there that can play with Marquette's guards. I'm questioning their big men, though. Their big man, Patrick Young, he's one of the big uglies. You know, he rebounds, but he doesn't score as much. He doesn't score like Marquette's big men. So I'm going with Marquette. You know, like you said, it could go either way, but it's going to be a shootout, though. It's going to be a shootout.
All right, so now we're down to the Elite Eight. So we go back to Boston, the East region. We got Syracuse, #1 seed, versus Ohio State. And I have Ohio State winning this game.
Okay, I got you.
Syracuse just does not have enough, and the Big Ten is going to show why they're the best conference in basketball this year.
You're a man of my own heart. I pick Ohio State too. I just think that it's Big Ten's year. It really is Big Ten's year. I just think that, you know, they're tougher inside for one thing. And, you know, they also have an outside game as well.
Yeah, the outside shooting of Ohio State is going to dominate Syracuse.
Yeah, we agree on that. So we can go on with the...
So we'll go on to the Midwest region.
All right.
And you have North Carolina versus Kansas. The loss of Kendall Marshall is too much for me. I got to go with Kansas. Again, Tyshawn Taylor, Thomas Robinson, Elijah Johnson. Finally, Bill Self's going to make it to the Final Four.
I'm not buying it. I am not buying it. I could play guard for North Carolina and beat Kansas. I got North Carolina. North Carolina. You know, the loss of Kendall Marshall is going to hurt, but Kansas is not a disciplined team, in my opinion, and I think that comes from the coaching. Again, I will say it again, Bill Self has not proven anything to me, nor has Kansas. Love Thomas Robinson, but I just don't think they're going to do it. I have better coaching.
Do you think he can blow a 10-point lead like Roy Williams did this year against Duke?
Listen, that was in the regular season. Plus, that's a rivalry game. Anything can happen in rivalry games. You know that. So I got.
And it was at North Carolina too.
Hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. They go into the Final Four. Though.
You talk about Krzyzewski being senile. Roy Williams is very close behind.
What does Bill Self have?
If not worse.
You know, if it's not senility, he has something. It's not a good coaching. That's what I'll say. I got North Carolina. Let's move on. You want to go south? Let me start.
We'll go to the south.
All right, Kentucky Baylor. Wow, this is going to be a great game to watch because of the athleticism. But I got to go with Kentucky just because they have people that can play offense as well as defense. you know, that can just change the outcome of a game.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is going to control that game. You know, I think they have too much talent on both ends of the court, and they're a more disciplined team than Baylor is. Baylor plays
no
up to
question
competition.
about it.
Yeah, so I have
No
Kentucky
question about
on
it.
that.
I'll have Kentucky versus Xavier, and I see Kentucky get into the Final Four also.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go west.
All right.
Michigan State, Marquette.
Michigan State, Marquette. This is interesting. Is Marquette going to try to run with Michigan State? That's a big question. I think it's going to be a mistake if they do. I'm taking Michigan State going to the Final Four.
So you're saying that Michigan State's transition defense, it can stop Marquette?
Yeah, they'll get back.
I agree with you. I agree. I don't think. I think Marquette is going to go with what they think is their strength, but that's going to backfire. I think Michigan State will get back on defense, and Michigan State is still going to control the game. You know, Michigan State plays a very ugly game. Yeah, but you know they usually win those type of games. They're going to control the boards. You're right.
And of course, Izzo's been there before.
Well,
Buzz Williams has not.
Right.
Well, and that will show.
Fine oiled machine. I got Michigan State as well. So let's recap our Final Four teams.
So we both have Ohio State out of the East region.
Right.
Then we both have Kentucky out of the South region. Michigan State out of the West. And you have North Carolina coming out of the Midwest. And I have Kansas coming out of the Midwest.
You must be related to Bill Self. You kind of look like him. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see who can coach better.
Yeah, we always
And in the end,
hey, they got to play the game. Remember that. They always have to play the game. That's
right. And North Carolina better hope Kendall Marshall comes back, or else it's going to be a long day in Chapel Hill.
I got one more year left in me. Let's go.
All right, so we'll be back next week with a Final Four show presented by 4thKiTV Sports. You can see us on the internet, 4thKi.com, and then at Twitter also, at 4thKi.
There you go. See you guys later.
I gotta say, see you later. See you next time.